Hi, Andrea. Sorry. How long are you been waiting? I can hear you.
I don't know, like 8 minutes.
Ah, sorry. I mean, I was since 8 p.m., but uh, it shows in the screen that the meeting was already started. I mean, 7 p.m. And
7.
yes, and then I was in my cell phone. I didn't notice that it closed. Like the meeting was closed. So sorry for that.
Okay, no worries. All right. Okay, so tell me, you were telling me you were having some problems with
Yeah, with the
passive modal.
model, passive model. I mean, I don't have problems with the concept, but I mean, when I did the practice, I have one mistake. I mean, I understand that because how the sentence sound, but I don't know where is my question here because I don't know where to use a passive modal or a active voice. I mean, I'm very confused about that because yeah, here it was a paragraph, so I didn't use the concept. I write because it sounds good, not
Mm,
because I know the
Okay,
concept
so
of passive model.
I mean, it's quite simple. One way is just whether it sounds good or not, but when the object is more important, then you can use the passive voice, right? That's the only thing.
Uh
There's
huh.
no other use. So for example, the first one, by now, most of you that Miss Bishop admitted helping her brother. So in this case, we're not talking about the object, right? The object would be,
Her
no,
brother. Mhm.
nope, in this case, it would be this
Miss.
one here, Miss Bishop admitted helping her brother. But
Yes.
we're talking about that you should know that. So by now, you should know this by now. So you don't need to use the passive voice. You cannot say most of you must be known, right? Because in this case, we wouldn't be talking about Miss Bishop anymore. We would be talking about you. You will know. So
Mm-hmm.
what else? So she ought to be congratulated for her courage. Now, in this case, we're talking about her, right? She's the one that needs to be congratulated. Tiene que ser felicitada because
Uh-huh.
she's the one that did this, right? She's the one that admitted her helping her brother. So she's
Yeah.
not gonna congratulate other people,
Uh-huh.
right? So what else? The bad news is that Dean Bishop is Crawford's teammate. It's a sad day for the sport when a teammate can be trusted. So, right, because right now we're talking about the teammate. He's not the one that trusts, he's the one that can be trusted. No puede ser confiado. So you can trust in him,
Uh-huh.
right? You can trust him or he can be trusted.
Yes.
Dean Bishop can be allowed to play professional soccer again. So here we're talking, no puede ser permitido.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he can be allowed. That's certain. But an important lesson can be learned from the history. Yes. We were not going to say that the lesson can learn, right? Because the lesson cannot learn anything.
Uh-huh.
The lesson can be learned. La lección puede ser aprendida by us. So we are going to learn this lesson from his story.
Mm-hmm.
Competition between two players from the same team must be limited. Okay. So the competition must be limited. La competencia debe ser limitada.
Mm-hmm.
La competencia no va a limitar, right? Competition won't limit something. It must be limited.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with healthy rivalries. Fans enjoy them. An athlete's progress can be measured in competition with a rival. So the progress of an athlete, el progreso de un atleta, can be measured. Puede ser medido with a rival, right? the progress is not going to measure something. El progreso no va a medir algo. El progreso puede ser medido with arrival. A player may use a rivalry to push himself or herself to higher levels of performance. So yes, here we're talking about using a rivalry to push yourself. So you are gonna use, you're not gonna be used, right? The player is not gonna be used. El jugador no va a ser usado. El jugador va a usar la rivalidad. The player will use the rivalry. But competition has to be kept in its proper place. Yes. La competencia debe ser guardada en ese lugar. So it must be kept in its proper place. O se debe quedar ahí. So the competition cannot keep something, right? Competition has to keep in its proper place. Keep what, right? Players have to respect each other. Yes, and here's the object, right? Each other. So you cannot say each other have to be respected. That's another way. But here, players have to respect each other. Tienen que respetarse, tienen que respetar al otro. I don't know, which one was the one that you got wrong?
The has to be kept. I mean, I put have to be kept. I forgot that. Yes.
All right, but that's not a passive voice mistake. That's just a third person mistake, right?
Yes, but I mean, this was my only mistake. But you know, like I told you before, I did this because it sounds good. I mean, yeah, for me it sounds good, but I didn't use the grammar, like the concept.
Okay. That's even better, I would say, because if it sounds good to you, then that means that you already know what the concept is subconsciously. So now you know you have simulated it, you know how to use it because you got it all right just by knowing whether it sounds good or not. And
That's why I ask you, because I wasn't sure before I submit this assignment. I mean, I doubt about this. So yeah, I think that yeah, I don't know. I understand, but I don't understand.
so I think you're kind of overthinking things here.
Yes.
So I would say it's a really good thing that it sounds good to you because that means that you already, most of the time, at least once you go by that, once you go past that stage where you're actually learning and then you go through the stage where you're speaking already. So then most of the time you're just gonna be led by what you think sounds better.
Yes.
So that's a really good thing, I would say.
Okay. So let's do the next part of the grammar.
Okay. So, all right. So let's see what we have here. Now, what we have, by the way, tomorrow is going to be our quiz.
Wow.
Yeah.
So will be the last class doing grammar, I mean, for the book? With
yes.
book? The book.
So
Yeah.
our last class doing grammar from the book. Maybe tomorrow before the quiz we can review something, but that's it.
Okay.
Unless, of course, since like the other classes we won't have, we don't have to use the book, but if you feel like there are some grammar points that you want to review, then we can do it.
Some grammar parts I want to review is adjective, ing.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a little confused with that too.
Okay, so we can do that when we're over with this.
Okay.
Of course. All right.
So
what we have here, it's a really good thing to finish off, I would say. Okay, so these are auxiliary verbs for emphasis. So this is different than Spanish, but it's something that we use a lot. I don't know, I think I've heard you use it too, but yeah, I think it's just getting used to the idea of this. Most of it includes pronunciation and just one part is grammar. So you know how in Spanish sometimes we say something like, I don't know, if you tell me you don't like kids, and I'm gonna be like, I do. Well, in Spanish, I will be like, sí me gustan los niños, right? So I'm gonna add that sí before. So sí me gustan los niños. I'm not gonna say just me gustan los niños. I'm gonna say sí me gustan.
Ajá. A
So
mí sí me gustan los niños.
exactly. So you're emphasizing that you do like something. So
Okay.
in that case, you're using in English, you cannot say, I don't know, yes, I like kids, or I yes like kids. Actually,
Yes.
the use of yes, yes is a word that's only used when answering questions, right? It's an affirmative word,
Mhm.
and that's it. And you say, do you like kids? Yes. But when you're speaking the way that we do in Spanish, you don't use it that much. Like you don't use it for conditional sentences. You use it for conditionals, right? And you cannot say yes or yes. You say no matter what. So you are never going to use it outside of that context. And in this case, you're going to use auxiliary verbs instead.
Mhm.
So we often use some extra auxiliary verbs when we wouldn't need them, grammarly speaking, to add emphasis to something, to give something special importance. So auxiliary verbs are basically verbs like do, be, have, or modals. Now, the only one that we can use as an extra thing, the only one that we're gonna use, that we're gonna add to a sentence is the auxiliary do. That's the only one that we can actually add. Do, yes, the only one, do. So not even in the negative form. So whenever you have a sentence that has a regular verb in it, like for example, this one here, I don't know, I like it. So this sentence here has a regular verb, right? Like, it's a normal verb. Like, take, speak, make, drink, sing,
Mhm.
do, see. So all those verbs are kind of normal verbs. Whenever you have a sentence with those, you can add the auxiliary in there. So you can say, I do like kids before the verb. Or if it's she, you can say does. So she does like kids. So, however, this only works when you have an affirmative sentence with a normal verb. Only when you have an affirmative sentence with a normal verb. So you can say, I do like kids. I do sing, or I do, I don't know, I do believe in Nick, or I do believe in you. So whenever you have an affirmative sentence that has a normal verb, you can add do, and it means like sí in Spanish.
What
So
do
it,
you mean normal verb in base form?
no. Normal, when I say, the thing about that, when I say normal verb, it's basically, what I mean is when it's not an auxiliary verb or a modal verb.
Okay.
For example, you have three types of verbs, I would say. So you have auxiliary verbs. I'm gonna make this bigger. You have auxiliary verbs. You have modal verbs. And then you have, I don't know what to call them. Maybe just, okay, let's say normal verbs. So basically, these are the ones that are not auxiliary or modal verbs. So
Okay.
auxiliary verbs are verbs like do, but in the form of an auxiliary, or the verb be, or have, or have. You know, when you have the perfect tense, And modal verbs are verbs like can, could, should, would, all of those. So as long as it's not one of these tenses or one of these verbs, it's a normal verb. So it's kind of like or liked in the past. We're gonna see how this is. Or cook, sing, drink, imagine, leave, see, I don't know, take, etc. So those are the normal verbs. Okay, so basically any verb that's not an auxiliary or a modal verb. Okay, so when you have one of those, you have the chance to use these two options, do or did, if it's in the past.
Okay.
So do or did. Okay, so if you have in an affirmative sentence, so if you have a sentence like in the simple present, let's say, I like kids. And you want to pay special emphasis to that and say, I do like kids. So you add the do. Or if it's with she does like kids. You still need to conjugate. You don't say she does likes kids, right? Because the does is already with it's already conjugated. If it's in the past, I liked kids. You can say, I did like kids. So in this case, you don't have to repeat liked because did is already in the past. All right? Or she did like kids. So it could be in the past or it can be in the present tense. And that's the only thing that you can do. Adding something. When you have to add a word, that's the only word you can add. Do or did or does.
And what happens if we have auxiliary verbs or modal verbs?
If you have auxiliary verbs or modal verbs, like for example, I am a good mom, you cannot say I do am a good mom. That would be terribly wrong because you would be mixing two auxiliary verbs and you cannot do that, right? So what you do, the only thing that you can do here is emphasize this word, stress this word. Stress means like pronounce it a bit more strongly. So instead of saying I'm a good mom, you're gonna say I am a good mom. So you're just putting a special emphasis to the word when pronunciating it. You're not gonna add anything. Instead of saying I'm a good mom, you're gonna say I am a good mom. You're just stressing this word. I am a good mom. Or if you have I was here, normally you would say this, who was here? And you're gonna say I was here. So you're stressing the I. But when you want to put a special emphasis, you're gonna say I was here. So if you tell me you weren't here, you're gonna say I was here. I'm not gonna say I was here. So you just emphasize that word. Or if you have, I have seen the movie. So you tell me, I don't know, haven't you seen Eternals? And I'm gonna be like, I have seen it. So I'm just emphasizing the auxiliary, or I had seen it. And the same if it's a modal verb. I'm just gonna say, I can do it. Or I could do it. I should do it.
Just emphasize the word.
Exactly.
By speaking.
Exactly, when speaking.
When speaking.
And as I was saying, the only case in which you can add something is with do, with normal verbs in the simple present or past, simple past. Only those. So yes, or I will do it. So you're not adding. And if you have a negative, then there's nothing you can do either because it already has an auxiliary. You cannot say yes. So you say, I don't like kids. Maybe you can say the full form. So instead of I don't like kids, you're going to say, I do not like kids. So you can emphasize on the not.
Okay.
I do not like kids. The same here. I am not a good mom. I was not here. I have not seen the movie. I cannot do it. I cannot do
He
it.
does
So,
not like kids.
exact. Or she did not like kids.
Okay.
So yes. So auxiliary verbs include verbs like do, be, have, and modals like can, could, should, and will.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't believe Nick, but he was telling the truth. So, mucha gente no creyó a Nick, pero sí estaba diciendo la verdad. A lot of people didn't believe Nick, but he was telling the truth. Right? I'm not saying he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth.
Okay.
If it has an auxiliary verb, we emphasize it by putting more stress on it. So,
Okay.
hey, Nick, you should see this commercial. I have seen it.
I have seen it.
If it doesn't have an auxiliary verb or modal verb, we can use do, does, or did.
Uh-huh.
It's always followed by the base form. So it's not conjugated anymore. Too bad you don't like soccer. I do like soccer. It does seem like yesterday. You did score the winning goal.
I have a questions. Ah, no,
Okay.
forget it. I mean, I was about to say that what happened if instead of simple past I have past perfect, but if I have past perfect, I have. So I can emphasize using the word do. I emphasize like putting stress. Uh, yeah, I mean emphasizing talking, like
Yeah.
speaking, right? Yeah,
So
the past.
exactly. If it's that's why you can only simple past because with the future you do the same, right?
I will.
Will you emphasize more.
Yes.
Or going to you emphasize am. I am going to go. So,
Um, yeah.
yes. If it's be, Nick was innocent.
Ah, okay. Yes.
And we emphasize things for many different reasons. When you're agreeing with someone,
Okay.
you can do it. So Hattie says, it seems like it was just yesterday. And Nick agrees with that. Nick says, yeah, it does seem like it was just yesterday. So, or when we disagree, it's too bad that Talia is moving to Chicago. Well, she isn't moving to Chicago. She's staying at the Newsland. So she isn't moving to Chicago. She's staying at Newsland.
Yes.
So that was it. See if there's something else. Okay. It's also called the emphatic do because it adds emphasis to something. So here, there's actually more that's not in the book. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the first use was to just emphasize something. Hold on. So, okay, but did you know that you can also use it with imperatives? So for example, okay. So when something is really urgent, it's kind of like, yeah, when you're giving an instruction, and when you're fed up, maybe, I don't know, you have a kid there and that, I don't know, that kid is walking around and, you know, a mess. And you have already said to the kid, hey, please sit down. And you want to put more emphasis on it, be more energetic, maybe, then you can add a do in there. So do sit down. And it makes it a bit stronger. So it's like it's more urgent. It's more, even more like maybe more mandatory for some reason. So do sit down or do come in. But it could also be nicer too. So it depends really, I think, on the tone that you say it. Because I don't know if you have somebody else, I don't know, and you are like inviting them over and you're like, hey, do come in. So that sounds nicer, you know? So it depends also on the way that you say it, because it could make an imperative sound nicer, like this one, do come in, or it could also make it stronger and make it sound a bit more rude. So do sit down. So it depends on how you say it. But anyhow, it's just gonna emphasize the imperative. Do forgive me. So yes. It doesn't work with negatives. In that case, you just have to say do not. So do not come in or do not sit down, because you cannot say it twice.
And it only happened this with do or with any of them, any auxiliary verbs?
I mean, this is just we do, like to emphasize something, you only can use do.
Okay.
So yeah, learn. So yeah, I think that's the only thing maybe we could say when you want to contradict something. So the office staff said my fax was late, but I did send it on time. Okay.
This is how you pronounce, how you emphasize the word.
I'm sorry?
I mean, here is how you pronounce the word, do, did, how you emphasize it.
Yeah, you're always gonna emphasize on that word. So you're gonna put the stress in the word. So I did study, I did enjoy it. So it's always gonna be like that. We are putting emphasis. What else?
Hairdo.
Hairdo. Haircut is better.
Haircut. Okay.
Hairdo is probably British.
British?
Yeah,
Oh.
I would say. I'm not too sure, but haircut is more natural.
Hairdo.
Do you have any questions, maybe?
In this part, no.
Anything else?
No.
Let's see what I have here.
This is quite simple.
Yeah, right? The last two things are quite simple, you will see, because then we have phrasal verbs, but it's like, I don't know.
Oh, that's hard.
Phrasal verbs?
Yes.
Okay, but it's just memorize them, I would say.
Yes, it's
Not
just more.
grammar, kind of vocabulary. Okay. So what we have here, this is the profile that your roommate has submitted to this website so that she can find a new roommate. So you used to have a roommate, Jenna Green, and she was a mess. So you basically kicked her out. And then she's trying to find a new roommate. So she created her profile in the website and everything. And this is what she's saying of her. But if since it was your roommate, you know how she is. So this is all bullshit, basically. So totally full of lies. And you have to contradict everything that's here. So, for example, in the profile, it says that Jenna has a lot of furniture, but she doesn't have a lot of furniture. So you need to kind of show the contrast between what she's saying or how she's saying she is versus how she actually is. No?
Okay. Okay.
So how would you do it for the second one?
I do often invite friends to my apartment. Yeah.
Okay. But not you, Jenna, right? So Jenna says she doesn't invite friends, but
Okay. She does often invite friends to her apartment.
good. She doesn't.
Okay.
What else?
She isn't home most weekends. Wow, weeknights.
Okay. She's not almost.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, she's not home.
what else?
She do not go away on weekends.
She does not go away.
Oh, yeah, she does not go away on weekends. She will use the kitchen much.
Okay. Try to emphasize on the will, right? So she will use the kitchen.
She will use the kitchen much. She does play loud music.
Mm-hmm.
She does not keep my room neat.
Okay, her roomie, yes.
Oh, yes, her room neat. She won't share phone and internet expenses. Um, uh, she has not always paid her rent on time.
Good. Or she has never paid her rent on time.
Oh, yeah.
Not always never. Okay, that's true about Jenna. So you want to do one of these? See what we have?
Yes.
Okay. And let's
personajes ni se... Miren, que les decía, me encanta que tienen...
Okay. And so let's see. Can you read the first one?
Remember the day Nick told you he saw Nick Bishop on TV? I do remember it. I remember it well.
Right.
It really seems like just yesterday. Uh, it does seem like yesterday, but
Yeah.
so much happened since then. Have you heard that Jackie got a part in a toothpaste commercial? I have heard that.
Yeah. I have heard that.
Yeah. She looks kind of silly in it. Silly in it. She does looks. I know she does look silly, doesn't she? You seem a little depressed, Talia. I am a little depressed. I miss Nick. Oh. Uh, why don't you call him?
Yes.
I will call him as soon as I have a chance.
Good. Nice. I'm very depressed.
Depressed.
Nice. That was perfect. It was easy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions though?
No.
Okay. So let's see what these phrasal verbs are about.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Okay. So we know phrasal verbs are basically verbs like any other, but these verbs, the special thing about them is that they are composed by a verb and then a particle. So, for example, turn out is a phrasal verb. Now, turn out is composed of two words, right? We have the word turn, which in itself is a verb already, turn. But when you add this particle out, which is most of the time going to be a preposition, it becomes a complete different verb. So it changes its meaning. So turn is one thing and turn out is another thing. Or turn down, for example. Another different particle, it's another verb. Turn, turn out, turn down, I don't know. Turn up. So depending on what the particle is, it can change its meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So the particle looks like a preposition. It's actually a preposition itself, out. But when you put it with the verb, it becomes part of the verb. So it's a two-part verb. So for example, in the meaning, in the example, let me know how things turn out. Do you know what turn out means?
Si termina, como que.
Yeah. So how things turn out. Or in Spanish, it will be como salen las cosas, right? How things turn out. So how they have this particular result.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now we have this, which I don't think really is necessary to say. I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but some phrasal verbs, you can separate them. You know, like you can say, so think of, for example, is a phrasal verb. Now you can say, well, some of them you can separate them, some of them you cannot. So for example, the verb think of, the phrasal verb, you cannot separate it. You cannot say, why do I think it of? So you cannot separate the two particles and put a pronoun or something in between. You cannot say think it of. It
Okay.
needs to go at the end. So if you have a pronoun or if you have an object, it needs to go at the end, not in the middle. So in some cases, so you're gonna say, what do you
Only
think?
think?
No, there are many verbs that you cannot separate.
Okay.
So yeah, like think about too, right? You don't say think it about. You say think about it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the thing. Some verbs you can separate them and put up an object in between. Like for example,
Turn it off.
turn it off. Great. So you say, can you turn it off, please? So, or turn the music off, or turn it down. But you cannot say think it off.
Uh-huh.
And there are some others that you can separate. So, okay, no, actually, there are sometimes some verbs that have three parts. So you have one more word there.
3 parts.
Although, I don't know, I don't see it that way. For example, here, the verb work out, that's the verb, right?
Yeah.
Now, for you, this, I wouldn't say for is part of the verb, right? But well, according to these it is. Maybe it's a combination,
Yeah.
but it's, I don't know if it's for, it would be part of the verb because you can just use it without for. You can say,
Yeah.
so things have worked out fine, and you're not using for. So for is not going to be part of the verb. Out is part of the verb. You cannot say how things have worked. You need to say how things have worked out. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a three-part verb. It's just something else. But so workout means stop being a problem or solucionarse. And we use it with the preposition for when there is an object. We don't use the preposition when there is no object. So how things have worked out for you, for her, for him.
Workout. Yeah.
And there are many more that you can separate.
I have a question here. Workout is means solving a problem. And what happened when people use it to do
Oh,
exercise?
yeah, that's all. Both of them.
Okay.
So, for example, when you say, I don't know, when you have a problem and you ask somebody for help, or maybe usually you go talk to the person who's in charge, you're going to say, I'm sure we can work something out. So that means we can find a solution to the problem, right? We can work it out. So in that case, so it says it's inseparable. I mean, of course, you can add something here, but you can add something here. So you can say if we can work something out or we can work it out. But it also means do exercise. So I like to work out at night. In that case, you cannot put an object because you don't have to use an object with workout.
Yes.
So yeah, many phrasal verbs have different meanings.
Uh-huh.
For example, yeah, like when you say look up. So look up could mean like literally looking up. So you look up. It could mean search something on the web, on a web. So maybe, okay, let's look up the definition of the word work. So we're gonna look it up, search something. Or it could also mean look up to. So I look up to my grandma, which means admire.
Okay.
Some phrasal verbs have different meanings.
So this look up to it's inseparable?
No, you can say look it up. Let me look it up for you.
Okay.
When you say look up to, no, you can, because look at this. The to needs to be followed by the object, right? I look up to this person. Yo admiro esta persona o esta cosa.
Yeah.
So always going to be there.
Yes.
And some of them are separable. So for example, turn down, which means, for example, here, another verb that has different meanings. Turn down could be turn the volume down. So like keep it down, turn down, like bajar, right? Or it could also mean rechazar. So you can say, you can turn a person down. So you're rechazando a person, or you can also turn something down, like an opportunity. So I just turned this down. I just turned this opportunity down. Look at this. You can say, I turned down the job, or I turned the job down.
Yes.
Now, if you were to use a pronoun, like you can only use it at the middle. You cannot say, I turned down it, right? This is wrong.
Yes.
I turned it down. I turned the job down.
But here we are using it instead of the job. I turned down the job and it's okay.
Yes, because it's a pronoun. This is a noun, the job, and this is a pronoun, it. So when it's a pronoun, not go at the end. And that's true for every single verb. You can never put a pronoun at the end of the phrasal verb.
Yeah.
So you don't say look up it. You say look it up or work out it and work it out. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what we were saying. So when you can separate them, if it's a pronoun, it needs to go between the verb and the particle. So I turned it down because I didn't want to move. We don't say I turned down it.
I turn it down. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the thing about phrasal verbs is that we use them way more than we use other verbs that could have the same meaning. Like, for example, turn down is going to be 10 times more common than saying rejected, right? You could say he rejected me, but it would be much better if you say he turned me down. So that's the thing. Or I ran into my cousin yesterday is more common than I met my cousin by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Is it okay? Do you have any questions?
No.
It's just memorizing them, I would say. Try to memorize them with context. So whenever you're watching a show or seeing a movie and you hear some new phrasal verb, you can stop it. You can see how it's being used, and you can write it down too so that you don't forget it. So try to study them with context. And then you can look for examples too. So you put it in, you look it up, and then you're gonna find. Do that tomorrow. Let's see. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So let's do this. Okay. So let's complete this cross. Should be fun. Okay. So, all right, we have the verbs. We have some clues here. That's gonna help us understand how to use them. And we need to leave them here.
Okay.
Okay, why don't we first?
With the words I think I know.
Yes, okay. So
Okay.
how do we do it though? Because I don't know. I think we should complete this first because this is right.
No, because I mean, for me, I can't complete this without seeing the verbs there. I need to know which verbs we have in this.
Okay. Yes. So let's do some. Maybe this will work.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, now it should be.
Number 12, drop by.
12.
Peter
Okay.
and his friends never called for the visit, they just drove by.
That's perfect.
Okay.
So I'm gonna write it down here. Hold on. Okay. Drop by.
So it was an underscore with a planet. But why Why? Wow, wow, wow. Number 3, when my classmates and I don't agree on a grammar point, the teacher always help us clear up our confusion.
Great. Clear up.
Can we check the words I used, please? Sorry.
So 12 is drop by and 3 clear up.
Yes.
Right? So 12 drop by. So
No, I mean.
Oh, what do you mean?
The words?
Also?
At the beginning, yes. In this quarter.
In that chart?
Yeah, in the chart, yes.
How do you want to check?
I mean, I want to do this sentence first, but I also want you to check the words I use.
Like this one here, so these ones?
No, in the blue chapter. I know no chapter, but here when there is call up, hell out, take out.
Okay.
I didn't know how to explain it.
I know.
Just to know which one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Where is the other one here?
1 over number 15. 1 over.
Serena worked really hard earlier and got a ratio. No.
No. 1 over. Oh my God. I'm sure. Okay, don't worry about your presentation. I'm sure it will turn down fine.
Okay, we'll turn up our next. We can cross that one out.
Yes.
Turn it.
Wow. And number 6, I think, is let down. My friend said she'd help me pay my apartment, but she didn't show up. She really let me down.
Good. She really let me down.
Okay. Um, can you check let down, please? Sorry. A ver. It's Kira's birthday tomorrow. Let's. Okay, number 8. It's Kara's birthday tomorrow. Let's take her out for dinner. Andrea?
Oh my, sorry. So you said take out?
Yes.
Okay.
Take her out for dinner.
So hold on, I'm gonna check.
What happened?
Yeah, I know. Since I got out of the, but I remember, so don't worry.
Okay. Call it up. Call up. Running. Okay. Number 15, Serena worked really hard a year and got a rise. her hard work helped out.
Helped out? I don't know.
No.
Mm.
So let's do the puzzle.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this.
Okay, let me take a picture and I
Okay.
will help you. It's better. Sorry. Okay, so let's go.
Right.
So, okay, number 8.
Okay.
Take out.
Okay. That's good.
Wow. Number 3.
Okay.
So where is number 3?
I think it's the
Okay.
vertical one.
Clear up.
Okay. Yep, I think it's correct. Clear.
No, it's okay. Number 6.
Okay.
It's let down.
Okay. That seems to be okay. All right.
And number 10, turn out.
Okay, that's fine too.
Okay, number 9. Where is number 9 in? Okay, we only have 4. Can we? Okay, sorry. Let me take a picture of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go back to the sentence.
Okay.
Where is the next part? The other numbers? The other
I don't
sentence?
know. I think, let's see. So page 51 is this one, right? Okay, no, it's not this one. 51. This is the other one.
Oh. So number 9, I think when Mix was in high school, she helped out at her family store.
Okay, so she, where's it? When Mina was in high school, she helped out. Yes, that's true. She helped out. Okay, let's try to complete this one here.
Okay.
So what numbers are we missing?
What number? 12, 14, 1, and 15.
15. Okay. So 12, or didn't we say drop by for 12?
Peter's friends never call before they visit. They just drop by. Ah, no, I did this.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me see. No, it's drop by.
Okay.
Ah, we forgot.
Yeah, we probably did. So it's just 3. So about 15. How would you say it in Spanish? Serena worked out really hard all year and got a rise. Her hard work. What would you say? What expression would you use?
Turn down.
Turn down. Turn no. Turn
No.
down.
Come on. Ah, yeah. A ver, Serena worked really hard all year and got a rise. Her hard work como que le funcionó, como que tuvo su recompensa, paid off.
Exactly, paid off. Dio frutos.
Mm-hmm.
So paid off. Paid off is like that. So it's something that you do and then later is worth it, at the end of the day. So paid off, valió la pena, I don't know, dio frutos in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Paid off.
Simon was anxious to go out with a blind date with Floretta, but by the end of the evening, she had. Sorry, let me see. She had. Won him over, like, yes.
Yes. Do you know what it means?
Se lo ganó, como que lo conquistó.
Exactly, yeah. So won him over is conquistar or convencer to. I think in this case it will be conquistar. So persuade somebody or win over, conquistar. So yes. I think there's no other verb for that, like conquistar in English. It's just win over. There's no other verb. Think.
So what with Cristobal Colon did?
Okay, but that's different. That's a conquest. But yeah, you're right. You're totally right. But that's a different thing. This is romantically speaking. That's a conquest, but it's okay. Where is it? Conquest. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but we know where it's more for relationships and stuff.
Okay. So which one is missing? 14. Erin couldn't hear the news on the radio, so he asked his friend to aquí he wants to say that he asked his friends to explain what he heard on the radio.
No.
No, I mean, he couldn't hear, so her friend could.
No. He asked his friend to. I mean, think about this. Why didn't he hear the news? Why couldn't he hear? What was going on?
I don't know.
Probably the volume was too down.
Okay. Could be.
In our case?
Turn down? Turn it down?
That wouldn't make sense, right? Because if it was too down, why would he ask to turn it down?
Okay.
He asked to
keep it on. I don't know.
The opposite of turn it down, speaking of noises and sounds, is turn it up, right? So turn the music up, turn the volume up.
I didn't see it turn up. I mean, but it depends. That's why I wasn't understanding this. Eric couldn't hear the news on the radio because he didn't have time.
Okay. Right. So yeah, it depends on the context.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, maybe because it has it in between, right? So it has to be, I don't know. It could not be, for example, paid it off, right? So drop it by. So try to think of the ones that could have it.
Yes. Okay. So
we're done with these ones.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the other ones and then we complete the process.
Okay.
Hold on. Did you take a picture of it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So hold on. Where is it? Okay, hold on. It was this one here.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So what could it be? We already did 9, right? She helped her out.
Number 11, Marika was surprised when she ran into an old friend at the movie last week.
Okay, when she, yes. When she ran into an old friend.
Okay, my family lives far away. I miss them, so I call them up every week.
Good. I call her.
Okay. Mm. Which words I used? Turn up. Turn up, won over, paid off, take out, drove by, clear up, let down, turn out. Okay. I sometimes go along with my friends' plans, even though I'm not that interested.
That's perfect. So go along is like seguir la corriente. There you go.
Number 4, I think, is keep on. Sometimes learning English is hard, but Carlos is going to quick. He's going to keep on
Right.
studying.
Keep on study, which means continue. Keep on.
Yes. Number 5, turn it down. Turn it down.
Good. So he got an offer, but he turned it down.
Turn
Okay.
it down. Many people were surprised when the true story about Nick's came out on the news.
Yeah, it's like salir when the news came out. Okay. So we did it.
Yes.
Take a picture.
Yes, I did.
Okay, nice. So now we can do the puzzle. Hold on. Let's open it in this.
So if this is in the book, how we supposed to do this exercise?
What do you mean?
How do we write?
I guess you can download like this one here, for example, it's a PDF editor, so you can edit the PDF here. But I guess ideally, you should have like a printed book so that you can write things down.
Yes, ideally.
Okay. All right, so what's number 1?
I don't have number 1. Okay,
Sure.
let me see. Yeah, 1/.
Okay. 1/. Okay, what about number 2?
Number 2, it came out.
Okay. And what about the third one?
The third one is clear up.
Okay. If I make this bigger. Okay, and the fourth one?
Is keep on.
Okay. All
5.
right. What's the fifth one?
Oh, the fifth one. Turn down.
Okay. In the past, right?
Turn it. Turn
Okay.
down.
All right.
Number 6. It is let down.
Okay.
So number 7. Call up.
Okay.
Number 8. Take out.
Okay.
9 is, well, help out.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Something's wrong?
I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's just that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Number 10.
Okay. What's number?
Turn out.
Turn out. Okay. All right.
Number 11. It's run into. Number 12. Drop by.
Okay. Okay.
And number 12, 13. It is go along with.
Okay.
14, turn off.
Turn off.
Yes. Turn up. Sorry.
Okay.
And 15, paid off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't look nice at all, but I think it matches.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions about these phrasal verbs?
No. No, I don't have questions. I mean,
Okay.
like you said, is just memorize them.
Mhm. It is just memory. All right, then. So tomorrow before our quiz, we'll be looking at some vocabulary that we're missing, and then we'll
Yeah.
take a quiz.
Okay.
Okay. So
Final test.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I think this one, yeah. I mean, the grammar was a bit tough. The previous grammar, the one that we saw today, not so much, but it could
No,
be.
we did today, no.
Okay.
But the last grammar part, yes. It was a little bit difficult. But if I have any question, because I will study tomorrow, I will tell you.
Yeah, just okay, that's fine. Actually, don't have that many classes tomorrow, so I just text.
Okay.
All right, Memphis. So I'll throw the survey.
The survey, yes.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you so much, Andrea.
No, thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.